Okay. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Y.ADACHI from the Hanshin Expressway, one of the highway companies in Japan. And I am also the English-speaking secretary of the TC Technical Committee E3 Disaster Management. So that is why I'm here and I'm presenting the summary of the special project. The title of my presentation is the Unpredicted Infrastructure Failure. As our president already explained to you, I will talk about the summary of the PIARC special project. Okay. I think all of you in this room know what is the PIARC. The main role of the PIARC is the knowledge exchange. So PIARC organizes the technical committees to make the key role of the dissemination and the exchange of the technical information during 4-year cycle period. This is a kind of the permanent system. But under the rapid change in the road environment, some emerging issues to be urgently discussed outside the TC activities were identified. So one of the issues is UIF. So now currently PIARC defined their UIF as like this. The UIF is the instances where failure occurs an asset that is deemed in good condition and is well maintained. Failure here, I would say the failure for UIF can be defined as a closure or collapse of an asset that leads to loss of the service, such as the closure of a bridge. Okay, so in order to investigate the management technique of the UIF, PIARC launched the special project. The purpose of this study is to support road administrators in understanding key learnings which will enhance the mitigation and the response arrangement for UIFs. So this study was supervised by the PIARC Project Observation Team, which is the joint team of the PIARC experts, TCD3, Bridge Engineering, and TCE3, Disaster Management. The collection of the UIF case studies are very important for this project. But the information of the UIF is very sensitive if the UIF event has the legal issues. So the collected number of the UIF case studies are very limited. By using the PIARC network, we collected and carefully selected 15 case studies for the further analysis. By considering World Bank country classification and also the geographical distributions and structural distributions. These are the photos of the UIF case studies. Most of the collected UIF case studies are component failure of the bridges. We made the phone interview for collecting the further data, but due to the limitation of the interview time, we just focused on the management techniques of the UIFs. The quality of the information greatly depend on the country situation. Very limited quality in low-income countries, whereas the high quality in high-income countries. This is the schematic image of the UIF impact and also the UIF recovery. We studied how we can improve this system like this, or the system resilience against the UIF. So I think the aim of this UIF management is to enlarge this green area as much as possible. We use the incident management concept for analyzing the UIF. As you know, the incident management is composed by the 4-element processes: mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. First of all, we analyze the UIF from the mitigation aspect. Okay, first slide is the triggers of the UIFs. I'll show you, okay. As you can see from this figure, almost two-thirds of the events are caused by the component or component-related failure. This means that these events are related to defect in design and construction phase, or bad inspection or repair program of the asset. Before analyzing each UIF case studies, I would like to introduce you one well-known definition of the disaster. I like this definition. Disaster is a crisis situation that far exceeds their capabilities. So I can say the disaster is a function of not only the hazard level, but also the capacity level. According to this definition, the disaster can be expressed as shown in this figure or diagram. I think I can apply the same idea or similar idea to the UIFs. Here, I would like to introduce or bring the concept of the maintenance environment. Say we have the incident field, every incident in this green area. And any incident could be prevented or mitigated by the good design and construction, or good inspection and repair program. I'd like to call these good design and construction and good inspection and repair program as the maintenance environment. I think the UIF will occur outside area of this maintenance environment. If we have the matured maintenance environment or large maintenance environment, all incidents could be prevented or mitigated by this maintenance environment. Contrary, say, if we had a poor maintenance environment, that means the small area of the maintenance environment, I can say we will have a lot of the UIFs event. Using this idea, we mapped UIF case studies in maintenance environment field. Here, I introduce the maintenance environment plane. The lateral axis shows the infrastructure robustness, and vertical axis shows the maintenance performance. Green area shows the society that has the poor maintenance environment. Gray area shows the society that has the minimum maintenance environment. And here shows the society that has a good or matured maintenance environment. We mapped 15 UIF case studies in this figure, and we found that UIF case studies can be categorized into these four fields, or four categories. Okay, first category is here. Probably this category will be travel to any country in near future. The photo here is a UIF case study contributed by the Belgium. A heavy truck tried to pass through this bridge, but this truck was too overweighted to pass through this bridge, so UIF occurred. This is just a direct cause, but they had another huge factor. The factor is that this bridge was owned by the local government. Due to the limitation of the budget, they did not perform the good maintenance to this bridge. after the event, they changed the maintenance management for such smaller asset. They adopted the bridge management system to such a smaller asset. Our asset is getting older and older, so the change in management for such a small asset will be very important. Okay, next category is here. The photo here is the UIF case study contributed from the Bolivia. The case study shown here, the slip of the newly implemented cable anchor collapsed the bridge due to the lack of the enough pre-performance test or load carrying capacity test. But this bridge has another factor. The designer and inspection and maintenance officer were the same person. So there was no real review, and also no check system was activated. And no maintenance protocols could be also another factor, because there is no possibility to detect the sign of the UIFs. Okay, this one is a very well-known UIF. This case was already presented by the former presenter, Ms. Leclerc. So I do not need to present additional information. So as she explained, the bridge had a defect in construction phase, but nobody knows the fact before the event. And this bridge was well maintained according to the current maintenance engineering practices. So I can say this event was really unforeseen event. And this was really sudden failure. But there existed information gap between the patroller insight and engineer judgment. What they improved to prevent this event is that they introduce the non-destructive assessment inspection, and also the monitoring inspection or daily inspection for enriching the inspection level. Okay, last category. This is also the case of the really unforeseen event. This is the photo of the Forth Road Bridge in Scotland. And here, they have the end link here. And this end link was failed by stress concentration due to the loss of the hinge function here. And this end link is the critical member for the suspended deck. This bridge was well maintained by weekly, routine, and periodical inspection. During the routine inspection, yearly inspection, the damage was found and the bridge was soon closed for the emergency repair. This kind of shear damage will propagate very quickly, so they thought they needed more frequent inspection. So they introduced critical element inspection program for critical members during monitoring our daily inspection or weekly inspection for enriching the inspection level as well. Again, I show you the maintenance environment map. And almost all the road administrators improved their maintenance environment in somehow for the reaction of the UIF event. Enhancing the maintenance performance is one idea. Enhancing the robustness or reduce the demand is also an idea. But I believe that the enrichment of the maintenance environment is a key component of the management of the UIF. Okay, this table shows the current practice in inspection of road infrastructure in the, if they have the matured or good maintenance environment. Generally say the matured maintenance environment covers the daily or weekly inspection, routine inspection, that is a yearly inspection, and a periodic inspection, at the special inspection. Currently, UIF experienced countries improve their inspection system by enriching the daily, weekly inspection in order to introduce the monitoring concept in their inspection. Next phase, next is the preparedness.
Yes, look at your watch. Please.
Yep. Okay. This is the survey answer about the emergency response plans. Almost the half of the countries have not the emergency response plan. Almost the disaster country have their emergency response plan at least. So that means this figure shows this indicates the non-natural disaster countries are not familiar with the sudden onset event as the UIF, and this indicates the effect of the UIF would be more larger in non-natural disaster countries. And next is the response. The impact of the UIF are similar to those of any significant incident that results in loss of the infrastructure. The biggest difference between the UIF and the loss due to the significant incident is the public response to the road administrators. If the UIF was not successfully managed, then it was perceived to have the negative impact to the road administrators. So, the communication is the key component of the case of the UIFs. Now I show you the good example for good case study, especially in the terms of the communication. This is the case of the bridge closure of the fourth road bridge. They successfully harnessed any kind of media for communication between the users and the road administrators as much as possible. These are the words, just I take it out their homepage. And they said, feedback was overwhelmingly positive, meaning stakeholders had confidence in the team and the site workers in the particular became heroes of the situation. And finally, I show you the recovery phase. In the recovery management phase, the wider impact should be considered beyond just the replacement of the asset. So quick recovering is an essential in the recovering management. This graph shows the recovery time of the UIFs. This average full closure reached almost 4 months. So we need to make a challenge to reduce the time as much as possible. Okay, so I'll give you the message from the PIARC POT members. So my conclusion is here. Deep cultivation for the maintenance environment as well as the emergency and the communication management is identified as the good practice, or I should say essential policy to prevent UIFs and to minimize the impact of the UIFs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I see one question. I will take only one because I see the time running. Here, excuse me, ici.
Excuse me. Now we are talking about UIF. In the management, quality management, there is a common causes variation and special causes variation. What's the difference between special cause variation and UIF?
Oh.
Thank you.
I think the special incident or significant incident are part of the significant incident is the UIF. But the UIF, we think about the caused by the hidden cause or something like that. So we don't know how the river arrangement inside. In such a case, we call the UIF. But still, we are unclear about the definition of the UIF. Yep.
Thank you very much. I would like now to invite Meg Perkel of the Georgia Department of Transportation to give us also lessons of UIFs.